wrote in my goals that I wanted to make for this design sprint that I wanted to make one unexpected experience. And actually that was that unexpected experience. And so you both were part of that. And for that, really thank you. And you're doing a wonderful job.
Right. Thank you very much. It was my goal also because I'm a trainee facilitator in this case. And because we got a lot of experience of all you guys. So you're all facilitators. So I can really learn also from you. So I'm being open and experimental. That brings us only more ideas.
Hi, Lisa, back again.
Hi, back again. Hello. Ian, how are you doing? I see a blank.
Yeah, it's cold.
Oh.
But I'll see what happens. It's okay. I can't miss it.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is everybody here yet?
No, I think it's just the four of us. Andres joined. Hi, Andres.
Hello.
Hey, Andres.
Hello.
Still the fourth is with you?
Yep.
Always.
We need some force.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Jürgen.
Hello.
Hello.
Where's my mural?
It's not your mural, okay? It's not yours.
I'll put it in the chat, just to be sure.
Oh, we have to do that on the day 4 thing as well, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Sabrina.
Hello.
Alex, day 4 would be a dry one for a prototype. So
Okay.
today we focus on the most right end of day 3,
Okay.
where we
Okay.
focus on choosing on the story flow and define what we're going to prototype and what steps we're going to prototype and test.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, fine.
Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Michael.
Good morning. Good morning. If I may say yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I'm looking forward to getting my mornings back after next week. It's been like 3 weeks of like getting up anywhere from 4 o'clock in the morning.
I just can say it was a very rewarding week, even though it was a very intense one, and I'm really tired. I was not sure if I'm going to make it until 9 today. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I understand. It's a crazy month with Gvds because we all do it next to our normal jobs. Right, I'm going to share my screen. So Lisa is there. Great, I will just wait 1 minute and then we will start. So I don't know if Teresa will make it or not, so I haven't heard from her.
Do you share the pictures, the team pictures that you made here yesterday?
Oh yeah, I will do that. I haven't uploaded them yet.
Yeah, where do we collect them actually? All of them? The team pictures.
I have them on my Mac, and they are also pushed on the channel group photos in Slack.
group focus.
Yep.
I think there's a hashtag, isn't there?
Yeah, I'll send it. If I can. Let me see. Hashtag sprint underscore.
Cheers, by the way. I thought it's a nice thing to start drinking.
Yeah. I put the hashtag in the chat. Not yet, that was the wrong one, but the hashtag. And that's the channel where you can see all the group photos of all the teams.
Okay.
Oh.
You're talking about Slack now, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
Because I don't really see that. Okay. I'm gonna just reload it.
You can also click on channel in the Slack. You can click on channels, and then you have an overview about all the channels that are existing. And then you can also choose the one you want to like. Maybe if you are interested in other channels,
Thank you.
you can
So
get access.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting ones with specific topics.
And the one that you talked about was by the name?
Group, sprint underscore group photos.
Ah, okay, got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Hi.
I got something to eat. Yeah.
All right, let's begin.
Yes.
So, thank you for joining, like always. And today we're gonna start with the storyboard after we'd chosen the concept yesterday, which was great. And we're gonna focus on the steps that we've written down and vote on which steps would be used for the storyboarding and followed by the prototyping. So I would like to ask you to, the ones beginning from 1 to 7, the one who made it, just speak it up and say what the flow is. And if everybody is done.
1.
All right, thank you.
So just wanted to read it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Dad reads newspaper and discovers new hydropark. Sorry, my new rule. Jumps online, researches the park, buys tickets for a family of 4. On the following weekend, drives the park. Family is very surprised and excited. Family walks around park, watching educational videos, infographics, and participates in fun interactive games promoting hydrogen. Families try all the theme park rides and get free pictures taken as a souvenir. And puts them up on social media. Has an epic, fun-filled day out with the family and learns how good hydrogen fuel cells are. Investigates hydrogen cars for potential upgrade in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No questions. Then I will ask number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, I forgot. Here is Mother. Sorry. Mother sees an ad in the television or a billboard in the streets. She enters Hydro Park or Hydro World or whatever the name is website, gets informed of what this park is all about, sees what type of attraction it has for her kids. Will they enjoy it? Looks where it's located and how to get there. Looks like a good plan. Buys tickets online. There's a promotion, buy 3 for the price of 2. Goes to the park and they'll learn about renewable energies.
Cool. Okay. Should we proceed? Yes? Okay, Ian, you're muted. Okay. Next one is for me.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Amazing global virtual design sprint team reaches out to Lego about Hydroland. Lego global planning manager is gung-ho about Lego having a global sustainable impact while bringing fun, play, and families together and says yes. Jake Knapp hears about the idea and signs Google Ventures up to produce the best design sprint impact fund together the world has ever seen. The outcome is fantastic. The Newspaper Society for News Design Scandinavia and The Telegraph report about it, and all the Scandinavian countries are looking for a lot to build the pilot project in a common effort. People are excited. Which better place could be there than Amsterdam for such an endeavor? The Prime Minister of the Netherlands joins the project and finds the perfect building site, identifies the former nuclear reactor in Borsele as the perfect location, and starts reaching out to investors to change the game. Henny van de Most hears about the project and starts looking for global partners to invest. He signs famous Dutch movie stars like Rutger Hauer and Famke Janssen. He also signs up Ashton Kutcher and Leonardo DiCaprio. Hydroland goes viral. Together with Greta, they do a flash mob. Henny van de Most invests 6 million in Hydroland.
It's not a worst case scenario.
No. No.
Great.
Best case scenario. Okay, I go next. So we have, there's an investor, he gets to know about the Hydroland concept. He is looking for startups in sustainable energy production, and yeah, he wants to invest in that. He sees the video about the concept of the Hydroland. The video shows the fun part with attraction, with all the attractions related to sustainability. The video shows the useful part like fuel station for hydrogen cars, buses, mobility sharing station, water fountains, and so on. And in the end, there are all the benefits mentioned for investors, the government, and the people. And then he invests 50,000 million euros.
Ooh.
Oh.
50 million.
50.
50,000 would be better. 50,000 million.
50 million, sorry.
That would be an amazing amount to invest.
It would be.
I think he can make more than one only.
Okay.
Thank you. Number 5.
Number 5, it's me, back from the moonshots, back to Earth. An environmentally conscious teenage girl, not a mother, not a father, sees an Instagram post on regarding Hydroworld, enters the Hydroworld web page, sees information on rights and attraction, thinks it's great, then sees additional information on brief, exciting, quirky aspects of hydrogen. I have a video from YouTube at the right of all these post-its. They are clambering beneath a car and take the water to make tea, the water from the exhaust. It's quite funny to watch. Then, because she's interested in environmental issues, she clicks on a subpage, finds more details, and downloads information leaflet and uses it to get her family interested and hooked in the idea of going there. Family goes, has a great time, learns a lot about hydrogen. And I have a parallel version. In this number 6, it is not the girl. In this case, it's a lobbyist, hydrogen lobbyist. There are some companies who deal with hydrogen issues. He reads a post about the Gvds team advancing Hydroworld concepts, enters Hydroworld.com, sees the information on the rights and attractions, is not interested, it's not his cup of tea. Then he sees the information on sustainability aspects, clicks on a subpage to find more aspects, downloads a white paper and on the circularity impact of all this, and then seeks contact to discuss options of jointly advancing benefits of hydrogen use.
All right, thank you. Number 7.
It's me, number 7. So the mayor of Groningen gets a strange call from a GVDS team who has an idea about a hydrogen park. He decides to listen because he still has 90 million euro from the European Union to spend on hydrogen. The team presents him remotely the Hydroland concept. He wants a personal meeting because it could help the region. The GVDS team designs sprints in order to prepare and creates a video. The video Hydroland in Groningen goes viral during user testing and causes massive attention. Major Schuling agrees to fund the project because of the public attention. Hydroland is built as part of the Hydrogen Valley initiative of the European Union.
Nice.
Cool. All right, but that were the ones. So I'm going to clean up the other ones. Yep. So now we have 7 flows. And normally this exercise would be that everybody gets 7 votes and chooses one from each step. So you've got 7 postage for each rule, and you vote on one of those in a vertical way.
But does this make sense in this context?
Yeah, exactly. That was my same question, because we're not having the same stakeholders in the first posted.
Okay, usually it's done like this. Everybody is voting on only one row.
Okay.
And the decider has 2 votes. He votes on one row and he can get another detail step.
Ian, you have to be the decider again.
Hooray!
Hooray.
So that's how we are doing that. I think how it's described in the Design Sprint 2.0, I guess.
Yeah.
So everyone is voting for a row, like row
exactly.
No, 9 or
not
10.
a row, a line.
A line.
A line, right.
So click to make sure. I'm gonna summon you all. That's maybe more clear. You see my cursor?
Yes.
Please click on the blue number on the row you wanna vote on. That's the most clear option. Okay, thank you. So it's everybody clear?
Yes.
Okay.
So this time we only get one vote.
Yes, one vote, one rule.
Yeah.
So choose one number you think would be the most ideal.
And 1 minute.
Yes.
Yes.
I already know.
Me too. Okay.
All right. Voting has started.
Robert's also there.
Yeah, I see.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Robert. Creepy voice.
Not in the Zoom, but on the.
So,
yeah.
I thought he was down there. Okay. Aw. It would be funny if he just came in and was
in votes.
And votes. I am the designer now.
So I won't accept that as a facilitator. So I'm going to end the voting session because everybody voted.
No, he doesn't vote. Hi.
Nice. We got a result.
Right. Great. So number 7 it is.
Yes.
Okay. Ian, I don't know if you would like to go with something else, but at least you could choose another detail. So sometimes it's really useful to take another detail from another row.
Yeah. Please give me a minute if that makes sense.
If you want to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. But the storyboard, the frames, there are more frames than steps.
Yeah.
And then we can fill that, And if we just take another step there, it's just helpful. If there's something which is valuable for our story, then we could just take this.
Yep.
Yeah, well, there are some elements in the other stories that might be actually really useful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really kind and oh, sorry. We should add them within.
Ian, I think.
Ian.
So.
Robert.
Robert.
He's hacking our sprint now.
Yeah. So in this case,
Maybe someone can make a post-it and write, "Don't stop hacking our sprint, Rob."
Yeah. Hold on.
in this case, I would enter this post-it, and the reason why is I think a page where we briefly pitch our idea, what we have done.
Sorry.
Because then the conversation would go.
You added your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So it was not Rob.
No.
It's not him.
The question is where we put that one. I think it should be here because it looks like we now are really keeping it real and presenting us as a GVDS team and taking this serious to make Hydroland something that we want to like to see.
Include the website into the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
But
I don't agree because we could have prototype a video and just place the video on the landing page. Nothing more, nothing less. Keep it simple. But then after the meeting, and we pitched it to the who was it? The mayor of Groningen. He can share it or discuss it with other people because if he just do it in one pitch, he can't share it. Are we still there?
yes.
Yes.
Was I gone because everything
Yes.
slipped out? Yeah.
Yeah, you were on mute.
I don't know what happened, but my Zoom just.
Yeah, I know. Something happened. Changed over here as well.
Well, you're not sharing your screen anymore.
No, going back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you integrated the hydroworld.com.
Yeah, because after our pitch with the mayor, I think the mayor needs something to refer on with other people. Otherwise, he can't share anything.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good idea.
Did we connect it? Are we connected to the mayor of Groningen?
This Cohen Schuling, I just looked him up actually, but I actually found the person I'm third with connected, and that one is at the University of Groningen, and he's somehow responsible for hydrogen as well, or could at least be a hook. I actually put it, I think, in the base camp.
I wrote you, I replied to that. Did you see
Okay.
that?
No, sorry.
Ah, okay. Okay. No problem. It was at the campfire and
yes, yes, you have that in-mail thing. That would be
Yes.
helpful because I don't have that.
So do you refer to Thies van Wonderen? Or was it the other guy?
No, it is. I think it's the Thies van Wonderen.
Okay, I wrote him. So
Okay. Cool. Sorry. Now I get it.
let's wait what he will reply.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets a strange call from the GVDS team in this case. A mail, but it's fine.
Yeah, the call has to follow. So
True.
All right. Sorry, I'm not really with my head here. Do we need to add to check if our sprint questions will be asked with that flow? Is that a smart thing to do?
Of course.
So summon everybody. We got the winning flow.
Mhm.
So we're going to talk to the mayor if that's possible. I will try to get some connections here in the Netherlands too, if that's possible on Monday. And our first goal would be that I think, and please let me know if you think something else, is the prototype would be a video.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes. Exactly.
Not really.
No.
Not only.
Not only, it would be as well the website.
Yeah, you added the website.
Yeah. Yeah, but the website could be where we present the video.
Exactly.
But a video is more complicated than a presentation of images and text.
Yeah.
You are the expert, Jürgen.
Yeah, that's why I say that.
Isn't it possible to make like a fast, quick thing?
Like
not if you want to sell something with that.
We want to test something. We don't want to sell. So I think that's kind of a difference. What do you think?
Producing a video doesn't take much time, and doing a sales page in a drag and drop builder, as long as it's not really hooked up to a real URL, shouldn't cost money, at least, and not so much time, I think. We could also do a 3-page PDF with the video in between, stating what the project is instead of.
And what is the thing we would test? The interest of the mayor?
Okay, so therefore we have to check the our sprint questions.
Yes. So
these are the questions we want to get answered with our prototype.
So we have here the first one and the most voted on is: can we open a conversation to having more than one fuel winner? So this has to be in our story, and the idea of Hydroland is to make sure that we open that conversation. So in my opinion, that would be a fit.
Because opening up the conversation would be adding hydrogen to the conversation. At the moment, it's not really so present.
Yes. And actually, I think the mayor could have an interest in exactly that.
I think the mayor could answer the questions if he think that such an hydroland can create more conversation about that.
Yeah, I agree.
So therefore he has to understand our concept. So let's say this land, and let's say the concept about that. So it must not be all the details, but he should be aware of the concept, overall concept. So I think to answer us the question if this would help to foster.
Fits.
Okay, clear. The next can we convince the transportation industry to change the hydrogen? I think that would be a follow-up. So that doesn't answer us in this flow yet, but could be in the future after we have succeeded our first goal. And that's the conversation and speaking about hydrogen.
Actually, I think in the article I read, Groningen is already building a public transport bus fleet on hydrogen.
Yes, 50 buses.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So open up their Hydroland, we would open up the conversation, but that would as well shine to that transportation.
Yeah, we could pitch it to the mayor, saying that, for example, the buses that are already up and running in Groningen, they could help out and be related, or how do you get that? To be a stakeholder within this project. For example, be the hydrogen transportation between cities and Hydroland.
Exactly, and as that being as well the first attraction of Hydroland.
Yeah.
I think the main aim must be then to get the mayor on board, to convince him to support this initiative, this idea, the concept. And I have still problems seeing the video idea included, because there's nothing we can show from this concept. It's only we could show us, and we could show images.
But isn't there like how are these painting videos when you like paint?
No, I think we can do is search YouTube and see which clip videos from hydrogen related stories we can, let's say, download, and those clips we can cut and produce like a short video. I don't know if it makes sense.
Makes sense, yes.
Makes sense, absolutely.
Makes sense.
We could also go to sources like Pons 5, and we could just download there are the clips with the watermark, but we could also use other kinds of video clips where we see, or we just take something from Legoland or Playmoland and we mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. An Android idea is really a good one, because then you can copy paste and cut just about theme parks snippets and just put them together.
And
and really put some text over it. With a tool like Capwing is easy to make edit videos online, and then making sure that the pitch is really short. Just half a minute would be more than enough to just tell our story. So our story has to be really good.
True.
Yeah, so I think there are two ways to go about it. Either it's a video out of snippets, mentioned, and that would be more like an inspirational, atmospherical thing, because it depicts what we're trying to do. And the other way to really do it in a simple way would be maybe to do a keynote and have some cropped pictures of some things like a collage, and have made those pictures and have them fly in and basically, put some text and music along with it. And that also would be an easy option to do. So it's just a keynote presentation with animated objects on different slides that come in after a certain time.
That's actually, that is what we are gonna present. We are pitching, so that is a presentation to the mayor. So I agree. Yeah, and that makes it more easy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there could be like a small trailer type intro that's like a video and very brief with a couple of keyframes, to set the stage and get a feeling. But then the elements could drop in alongside with some informations and even statistics, maybe.
Yeah, give it more feeling. As imagine you see a theme park, imagine it was completely green and hydrogen and better for the economy of Groningen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And an attraction for as well. So,
sure. Yeah.
When you mentioned the 50 buses, right?
Yeah.
I had in my head that there were something about 1,000 in Switzerland, and I just checked that. But these are 1,000 hydrogen trucks. Maybe we have to go to Switzerland to make another interview.
Good idea.
They ordered 1,000 hydrogen trucks. That's a number.
That's a number, truly.
All right.
Just a quick question. If on the second, so he decides to listen because he has 90 million euros to spend on hydrogen. are we just making that assumption? Are we just hypothetically?
No, the initiative from the European Union that Hydrogen Valley initiative, it's a total spending through the next 3 or 4 years of 90 million. The EU is spending 20 million, so they're funding with 20 million, but the others are coming out of local and Dutch government funds, and there is some private-public things going on as well. And they have in total.
So that is being pulled off the interwebs, I guess. So it's a fact, is it?
It is a fact. So I read it in an
Okay,
article
cool.
as much.
No,
as
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's true. It's not an assumption.
So the last can we be able to reduce the cost on producing, transporting, and storing hydrogen? Well, I think if this is something that's going to be happen, and the hydrogen land would be a research project to make sure there's much more development in that. So that would be something which is a future benefit of this project.
Yes.
I actually understood the mountain as a production plant and storing facility inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only thing is transporting, and if people come there and charge their cars, or trucks come there and pick up the hydrogen, and the whole, you know, and it's like really a sustainable circle of production, storing, and putting out, and that should theoretically work.
And actually they can do that in Groningen because they have like 8 other scientific projects around that whole Hydrogen Valley initiative, from storing, from how to build pipelines and so on. So actually that could be, how do I put that? It could be, the Hydroland could be something they build together with the technology they are doing. And with that, the cost of the production and transporting and storing hydrogen goes down, because it's not only a theme park and so on, but it's as well a scientific research project right in front of their nose.
All right. So to be clear, now we have come to this point. We'll have to decide what the prototype is exactly going to be and how we're going to pitch it.
I see you talking, but I think you're muted.
I'm not muted.
No, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. So who could help me with this now? Because
What exactly do you need help with? What do you want to do?
okay, I just want to explain now how we go to decide the prototype, what we're going to prototype, and then team up and see, divide a team in who's going to make which screen for the storyboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Should I help?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, so we just start with putting all. Oh, you already did that, or who did that?
I think.
Oh, you
Lisa
started to. Okay, you spread the post-its.
Yes.
In different screens. Usually, also there are 8 screens, 8 frames. Usually, I use 10 in the beginning, so that we have some left. So we have also without a post-it.
Okay, yeah, then we should just make more of those frames, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay. Okay, so we just spread all the post-its in the different frames, and then so this is the first step, and we try to get out of the concept. We just cut out pieces which we can put into the different frames, and therefore, so when we are online now, my only solution right now is that we just make screenshots from the concept and put them in. So for example, I go for that. I just make a screenshot. And I upload my screenshot. Maybe someone has another workaround, because we cannot just cut pictures in Mural.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just made a screenshot. I take now the picture. So we could just cut out different parts of this picture and we put it into our frame here. So now we can also use the other concepts. So if we have something in another concept which we could use, we can also put them in there. Or what we can do, we can also start writing another post-it. So to just complete our frame, so that we have the structure of our storyboard. This is the beginning. And then we have so I don't know how it is written. So usually I'm doing this in 3 parts. The first part is the structure, where we just define in which frame which content will be. Then we try just to get whatever we have on our table or at the wall. We take everything and we cut out stuff and put it in there. So what we can reuse, we reuse. And then so then the next step is we just fill out the frames or the missing, when we miss some illustrations or sketches or content, we try to fill that out. This is the second step. And therefore we already define, okay, sometimes it's like this, everyone is working on every frame, but sometimes it's also what I like more, and what I also always try, that we divide it up. So each one has another frame, and work on this frame and make sketchings or write something. And then in the end, so the last part is that we read out loud what is our story, what is in there, and then everybody just reflects about or listen, and you realize very fast if there's something strange, weird, what doesn't fit, or if there's something missing.
Okay, should we just distribute the post-it notes for the first step and define what goes into the 2 screens?
Mm-hmm.
So we're starting with the strange call, which is obviously the first step. So this is going to be fixed. And then we can discuss if there is a step in between, or where actually there is a step missing that we want to fill in. Is there anything that already occurs to somebody that you see where you think, okay, I would like to move a certain post-it, or I would like to add something in here?
Well, the interesting part now is I understand the steps, but a lot of them is just the presentation, connecting with the person, and I want to go deeper in the presentation itself and the slides of the presentation. So if we have a presentation of a PowerPoint, I would see slides of the PowerPoint as part of the storyboard.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could also draw up some slides on post-it notes, take a picture and airdrop it into here, basically upload it in here. Does it make sense for you? Or do you want to write down in words the structure first?
I would write it.
Yeah.
Write it, or make some screenshots from the existing slides, so that we are really fast with that.
For me, that's just a little confusing, because there are 2 different things. Once we have the storyline and the existing post-it notes, and another thing is actually the thing we want to produce, which is the video or presentation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of different.
Yes. Usually, yeah, I think so the first thing that we have, that he gets the strange call, I think we don't have to frame that, we don't have to build that. This is just, we do that. So I think we already can eliminate it.
Mm-hmm. So
we also don't need 10 screens. It's just it's just a structure. We also can use 6 or whatever. So we just
Actually,
I make it red, so we won't build that. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's excluded from our
But
prototype.
this exercise is about what we're gonna build. So I need the storyline of what we're gonna present and tell the mayor, so we can focus on making that tangible.
I have an idea. I have here the post-it notes of the 10 steps that Chris Doe is doing for online postings on how to build a storyline. It's exactly 10 steps. And it says exactly what should be on every slide, basically to build momentum and get attention. So
let's try. Good idea.
Yeah,
Great.
go ahead. Let's go.
Post-it notes in a different color and write that down, what I have on the post-it notes, and then we put it together.
It's experimenting time again.
And the second one, he decides to listen because he still has 90 million. I would frame that as a question. So we heard about your story. Are there still your 90 millions? I'm just thinking out loud to spend on a project, or we just ask him what is the budget he's investing in, blah, 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 blah. Because there's an assumption he decides to listen because he still has 90 million euros. So this could be reframed in a question.
I think
So we don't build something, but we just ask him something to open up the interview, to open up the conversation. Could be.
Couldn't we say that the storyboard at this stage is more the storyboard for our presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Lisa is building up.
Yeah.
She has a presentation framework, and we're gonna go with that and see what we can make from those post-its.
So basically, I'm writing some stuff here in brackets on the top, and that is just how it should feel. And then under it is what's going to be on it. Something like that. I'm just going to take it there.
Okay.
For you in the second step, okay? And that is just what should be on there. It doesn't define the content, just the structure and the build up.
I would still vote on just having one presentation, the presentation to the mayor with the aim of winning him over for the project. I think we have this side line of building a web page and winning the public also over, and using that as a lever to win him completely, but we wouldn't be able to test that. We will only be able if he reacts to what we present to him, and if he says, yeah, it sounds interesting.
Actually, I've studied politics, so I have some friends that work in politics and that are not in Groningen, and that could actually have a look on what we are building. Like my friend Philip was working in parties and was doing like campaigns and things like that. So he knows a little bit about the sphere and the space. So that could be an idea.
And I think we built the website, or the website to frame, to give everything a frame. I think that's all. So if we would make a keynote and we include a video there, I think that's the same. So I think we don't need a website per se, but it's more kind of a structure or a frame where we put in information. I think that's why Ian, you took the website idea, the post-it to the story, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, so one suggestion from my side, don't know if that is anything, but the first step is that we get the attention, so like the call, and then, okay, guys, tell me something. And then we have to present him something. And when we presented him that, then he will decide what he's going to do. So maybe, I don't know, we skip the whole rest and we really follow like what Lisa is building there, as to say, we have to reach out to him, we have to get a meeting, that's the important, and the rest is we're doing that sales presentation, video, whatever that is, and neglecting the other steps of flow.
I don't even think it needs to be a website. It just needs to be a slide presentation.
I agree.
Mm.
It's just a presentation.
Exactly. If we have 10 slides, then it's actually really doable. And we can even integrate a video in one of the slides.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, because it's just slides.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm almost finished, and you can start reading the flow in the meantime if you want. Keep in mind, this was for Instagram carousels, okay? So I'm gonna have to do it a little different, but this is how he suggests to build momentum if you want to get attention on a certain topic and where to put the best infos and stuff. I actually want to use that for my Instagram, but I never have the time to create the template. It's still on my desk.
Same with me.
You should all go for TikTok.
My hero. Okay.
I have to follow you.
Yeah, we have to follow each other.
Yeah, on TikTok.
Just do both.
Not
Is
yet.
everyone on TikTok?
No.
You should.
We put our video on TikTok. How about that?
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Just
For
spread it to
sure.
the world.
We make it in such a way that the teenage girl that was in the other story gets attracted to that video, maybe ideally, and tells her mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So some things make sense and other things don't make as much sense. So almost there is just like, okay, we're still building momentum, for instance, in screen 6, and we have to figure out how to create that urgency to click on the next page. And then have them do a micro commitment on screen 7 and feel like if they don't continue, they're going to lose out. And then on screen 8, we dissolve what this is all about. And on screen 9, we give them a checklist, why we're doing this, show them that we care about what their initiative is, and give them something to actually do. And then sum it up with a bold call to action at the end.
It makes a lot of sense as a structure of the storyline. Should we make space for it then? Because we have to fill it now. That's the headlines, the categories.
Yes.
By moving out the steps out of the.
Yeah, I mean, we could look. How about this? If I put that here on top, and we have plenty of space in the field, and it's just a description. And on the bottom, I'm gonna. Oh, okay, you're doing the same thing. I get it.
No, the other way around. I moved the steps from the workflow out so that we have enough space to fill something in.
Okay. Alex, what do you say about this as a marketer? Does it make sense or is it BS?
No, I think it makes sense. I think we have to be really sharp.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a pitch, and a pitch has to be really short and clear.
Exactly. So if you already say, like, I'm already a step ahead, I've like reason to care, that makes total sense. And what could be the title and the subtitle? So I'm already thinking about that. So that is, I think, a good sign.
What is the name? Hydro World?
It's actually Hydroland, like Disneyland, but if you agree, we can also get another name.
Is hydro clearly hydrogen, or is it water?
That's what I was going to say. If I hear hydro, I think water, particularly from where I'm from, though, but that may be different for you guys.
It sounds like an aqua park, like.
Yeah.
Hydrogen?
Hydrogen world or something, or hydrogen land, whatever.
Yeah.
I should keep it with land, because land will focus more on Groningen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hydrogen land.
And maybe we shouldn't reveal that in the first frame.
Sorry?
We shouldn't reveal that in the first frame, but we should more like a reason to care for him. How would it care? And like saying like we want to make Groningen the capital of hydrogen. Yeah, something like that.
Some facts that they already have to have.
So you would focus really on Groningen, because when we have, I also have another interviewee. He is from Germany, and he's just in the hydrogen world, so he has nothing to do with Groningen. So I would just frame the concept as a concept which could be also in Switzerland or in Germany or in whatever.
Fine with that.
Yeah, I agree.
That we can open up the conversation and keep it neutral and send this to more people and get more feedback.
Yep.
And we change the presentation every time.
Make it a race for who builds the first hydrogen land.
Actually, guys, I've just actually seen there's a website. I'll just post a second. It says letsgohydro.com. It's an aqua park. So someone's actually built something.
What?
So I'll just post it.
Can you put the link somewhere here?
Yeah, I'll just stick it into this.
Maybe we can use it.
Yeah, let's reuse everything we find and we like. No, this is just about, we don't have to reinvent the world right now.
Yep.
Yeah, just steal and borrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Steal like an artist.
Exactly.
That only confirms our idea. It backs it only up.
I've just put it into Slack because my Zoom's on my mobile at the moment. So just have a look. I haven't actually looked at it properly yet. But
Slack. Okay. Thank you.
Hydrogen.
Let's go hydro.
It's a regular aqua park with slides.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So we need hydrogen in the title.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, this is just water.
But hydro alone would be misleading.
I think I found something very similar. I'm gonna share the link. I think it's something worth looking at. I'm gonna share it in the Slack.
Okay.
I think this is what we want to do. The thing is that this guy is doing it with wind power and I don't know what else.
Having a picture like that would be really cool for our hydroland.
Just use this one.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Just screenshot it and put it in the presentations.
Yeah,
So
and we just add something to that. So
yeah, great.
I love it.
But you see how they use the windmills as amusement attractions?
Great.
What are you talking about right now? I don't see what you're seeing, I think.
It's in Slack.
Okay.
I love this. I think this will make the idea really clear of a sustainable and then the thought of hydrogen.
I think it should come like at the highlight of the presentation, because I think it's a good image.
Okay, I'm loading it up. Okay, so let's do it because I'm on a computer.
Yeah, perfect.
Faster. Who's on a computer?
I am.
Me. I am.
Okay, Sabrina, Alex, and me.
Yes.
Okay, just checking, because then the others don't have to bother with dragging and dropping, I guess. Yeah, where do you want this picture?
I would say that would be the big idea.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's coming to life.
We have one picture. Okay. Okay. Best bits. So essentially, yeah, actually it's really nice. Do you want to put a headline on top? Or is that on the post-it? Is that how you mean that? Like so?
Yeah.
No, it's gone. Okay.
Put it on top.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's fine. And maybe we want to put something like I don't know, a vision and the year on it. You know, like a time under it.
Yeah.
Just for the name, can we put H2 Hydro? Sorry, H2 Aqua Park. That's for like a.
But that's more water.
No,
I think it's the aqua. As soon as you have aqua, it's water.
yeah, and I would refrain from having water slides because
Mm.
it's just misleading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if hydrogen land is too long, we could call it H2 land, but then it's so chemical that people might not get it. And if they actually Google hydrogen land because of this, then it would be more in our.
To be honest, I don't think the name is really relevant. I think it has to be clear that it's in Hydroland. What name it's going to be given, I don't care for now. The mayor has to, the other users, testers has to know what's it about.
That
So I
nice.
just found this other one with a volcano type thing in the middle that we're talking about previous.
One question before we drop everything in here. Can we save graphics out of here and still have them in the same resolution, or do we need to create a Google Drive or upload in Basecamp? What would be the best way to put all the graphics together so that everyone who's prototyping has access to it?
I'm reading concerning that picture we just put. That's a real project presented by a Dutch company called Current back in 2015.
That's why I suggested to do more like a collage and use different things from the website. And it's not really a commercial project. So I think that would be okay as long as we put it together in our own way, but I'm not sure legally. So yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, that's not important, but it's I mean, there's a company who has thought about this. So I don't know if we can contact this company or something to tell us more.
For the prototype, usually I use everything from everywhere and I show it only to the interviewee.
Yeah.
So as long as I don't put that on YouTube or somewhere and we claim it as our idea, it's okay because I can take a photo and I can show it to somewhere, to someone. Sorry, it's too late. I can just show it to someone, and that's the same thing. So I don't use it for commercial purpose and not to share it online and to share it somewhere else. So we just take everything what we want to take.
I'm just looking because in one of my, I have so many tabs open, but in some tabs I have resources where you can download design assets, and it's actually really helpful. And I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Just with regards to the, I don't know who asked that, the question with the images, you can right click an image in Mural and click download. And I'm pretty sure it's just, as far as what my experience is, it's just the original resolution.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So there will be a mural called Day 4, and there you can put up all the assets. So I'll show you that in a sec. I can show you now, actually.
I just have things like noun project and humans where you can get icons and humans and just make a quick collage out of it. And they're already cut out PNGs as far as I know. So this should be really helpful. Should we collect the stuff in Slack and then move it over to Basecamp, or go to Basecamp directly with these things?
No difference. As long as these images are not too big. We have only 1 gig in Basecamp.
So what I would suggest now is that we focus on the content. So what sentence, what are we going to tell? So the story is clear. And then if that is clear, then the one who's going to prototype can start with that presentation, making up the slides. And if you look at the, oh, you're not in this, can you see my screen? Yes. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, this is the mural Day 4. And the offline exercise is actually when we are prototyping. And in here, you can put in, the prototyper could ask questions or requests, I need these images. And we can put them in here so he can download them or request them, put them on Slack or Drive.
What would be the best argumentation when talking to the mayor? Would it be, we don't have to convince you about the benefits of hydrogen if you already have this special region of hydrogen in Groningen? You know, disadvantage, 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 but you can only go so far with scientific argumentations and arguments. We have an idea that can bring you to a completely new level, higher level, by showing hydro.
We're presenting a vision which is for a lot of stakeholders already a reality. So having the hydrogen valley, having the buses already up and running, having the whatever scientific stakeholders are already experimenting with hydrogen. Now we just want to make them collaborate together to create a park where we can communicate and work together. And we have to make sure that we don't focus only on the mayor. We have more user testers. So or we change the slides a bit for each user tester, or we focus on one pitch that will match for all our users.
But the pitch, you know the benefits. These are the scientific arguments that are normally used, but this will get you only as far. If you want to go bigger, then have a look at this idea.
I wouldn't do that as a catchphrase, because it's like framed. You start negative, you know. You start with the don't, and that normally you shouldn't do. You should start with a vision that actually hooks him, and that helps the region, helps him to get re-elected, and helps the people to grow more. Sorry, I'm riding on the Groningen thing, but actually they have some industries that is going down, that actually there will be a lot of jobs lost, and he desperately needs to find something there. So we can say something like make Groningen the world capital of hydrogen or something like that. I think, Jürgen, what you said would be like on the third slide, the critical slide, where you like tell a little bit critical things to go on.
No, I didn't mean critical things. I just wanted to tell them what you are doing is good. You know the benefits, you're doing a lot of things, you listened to and read all the scientific articles, but it will get you only as far. If you want to go really big, you have to think in terms of something like this experience concept of the
as I would,
park.
so I can only say what I would say, and I would answer as someone that is asked that question to say, I'm already thinking big. I don't need you for that. That would be like the first thing I would react to, but it's only me. So sorry about that. I would go more for like a vision that is even greater than he thinks or she thinks, whoever that will be.
We're already recruiting them and giving them the link with hydrogen. So now we just have to trigger them with what is really good. What I see there is the why. Begin with the whys. I really agree on that.
I mean,
so the why would be sustainability, and with what would be hydrogen, and how would be using the theme park.
Well, I think the theme park would be the communication piece. I think they are not good at communicating. They are good at building these research labs and all these different projects and so on. But actually putting that together in that hydrogen park really is then really the communication piece. It's like the landmark that everyone in the world can see, like that. And at the moment, I did not know that before. I had to Google it. Someone from you Googled it, and I saw it. So it's not that known. But with Hydroland, what they are doing, what they're already working on, can be massively multiplied, and that has lots of benefits for the technology and the region.
Yeah, that's good. So we're giving the mayor a voice.
Yes, exactly.
We are team voice.
Hmm.
I'm just coming up with a structure that I was told by a coach on how to structure my daily to-dos. It's the 1-3-5 method, and I'm trying to put it in here in such a way that on the critical slide we have one big idea, a big reason for them to care, for them to really, start ideating and dreaming. And then it's just an idea. Let me know what you think. And then I would come up with 3 more reasons. And when it says start to build momentum, I would give them 5 more. What do you think about that?
So
Yeah.
1, 3, and then 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically the things get always smaller and they start building momentum, and then we're moving into the big idea. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but
yes, it does. It builds it up.
Yeah, because it says start building momentum, and so I thought, okay, 1-5 it could be.
So like the first, the big, the idea, the why he's interested. The one thing is he gets famous, that he starts dreaming. They are the first, and then we start with 3. So the 3 arguments should be kind of they get, so the main reasons, what is the benefit for their region, and then we have 5 little steps which are there. The kids can play, the schools can come. So we are choosing 5 arguments, something like that.
Yeah, and I don't want to start with only selling benefits. I would like to start with, I suggest to start with where he comes, he has to commit to, he agrees on. How do you say that in English?
Yeah, I'm just trying to write some stuff down and get going. But however you think is fine. I think it's better to be visual than to have discussions. That's why I would, rather put stuff on there and then vote.
Maybe 3 values for his purpose, for his.
But can we figure out what his values is that he already has, so we have more?
Yes. We can figure that out, of course.
Yeah, I mean that would be like, it's actually, that's interesting because the first 2 are informative and getting attention, and then we would have 3 empathy slides in such a way.
Yeah.
That go into his values and also his pain and what he's trying to achieve as a politician.
Yeah, and we want to get on a line in the first.
So we can make, with a critical slide, we can make him dream. With the next one, we can just ask 3 questions. So where he said, oh yes, that's, oh yeah, sure, I have this and this topic and this challenge, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So about society, acceptance, or about, I don't know.
I think it's very good like that.
You get a more buy-in, I think.
So it's not, we don't say you will have the value, but what is your most critical thinking about society on this point, or something like that. So we just reframe the question, reframe the value as a question.
Guys, just taking a step back, are we just assuming that we're going to be able to talk to this person?
No,
like
I'm looking at the presentation, I think. No?
Yeah.
And
I didn't understand your question, Michael.
So we're talking about values and making slides around the politician, right?
Yes.
The government official.
How do we know we're even going to be able to speak to someone regarding that? So we're making a slide presentation for something very specific when we don't even have that in place at the moment.
We assume that we can talk to him, and we assume that maybe these values or these challenges is not only him having this, but also others we can talk to.
Yep. It's just that if we build something very specific for, you know, more leaning towards a specific person, then and if it doesn't happen, then we've got a slide or we've got a presentation that we're presenting to other people that doesn't quite make sense. That's my concern. If we're too specific.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
We can also focus more on the project. So.
And begin with a big idea.
Big idea is more in the end.
Sorry, I mean not the big idea as
the
in
critical slide.
Yeah, exactly. The most interesting thing about this sprint is that we're taking it to another level than just storyboarding the concept, but going about selling a presentation of the concept. The slide number 7 and the last step could be related, really related.
Yeah, so I put some stuff on top in blue and tried to map both design thinking phases and also the EDA, attention, interest, desire, action thing on it. I'm not a marketer though, so maybe Alex, you can put your 2 cents on it and let us know if that makes any sense.
Let me.
Or maybe there's another thing that's more fitting that comes to mind.
No, normally, like having any kind of funnel is always a good thing. And starting with like shouting and then becoming more clearer and dragging him in makes total sense to me.
Sorry?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me to start with attention and to drag him into this.
Yeah, and it's very emotional, so most of it is a desire.
That's not so bad.
What I think is really clear is that the first step is to start with our why, to explain that, and I think there we can also talk about why we have chosen the concept, why we see so much potential in that, and where we want to go. So we want to our sprint question, the one with, we want to foster the communication about there is not only one fuel. And then we go to the interviewee. So this is the, when you talk about the interest, it's, I think we should then go to the person we are talking to. So we have here the go on more whys, making people experience that hydrogen is a great solution.
I would actually, Sabrina, I think that's a good idea why we have chosen the topic and what we are so excited about. But to get someone's attention, I normally would not tell what we think about it, but we would try to get a hook to grab the person to say, hey, this makes you bold, this makes you great. And then in the second thing, why are we thinking about this? So I would post it in the second step.
I'm just thinking about these interviews. Usually you start with who you are, you set expectations, then you start introducing, let's say, the setup to the person, and you ask the person about their role, and then you start with the interview. So that's what I'm thinking in the beginning. Maybe we can also reframe that. So
I think, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No problem. No, go on.
Because I think we're already reframing it to a presentation that we're going to hold. And I mean, for an interview where we would check on our assumptions after a design sprint, I would fully agree with you. That's exactly the way to go. And you know that even better than me. But like for a presentation, I think we should, what you said, reframe that a little bit and really go for that AIDA thing that Lisa suggested, because that is like, I think the way to go, to grab someone's attention and then to make him even more interested in it. And with making him more interested, we have to tell him exactly what you have said, who we are, why we did that, and why we have chosen the concept. I would just put it push it one step down the road to the interest part, and would be a little bit more shiny on the attention side and more focused on the user. That's
yeah. Okay, Lisa, go on.
Sorry, we're all talking at the same time. I don't want to interrupt, but I agree. Yeah, I would start with that and then tell them who we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
I tell you what is the difference, what we are doing here. So when we are doing this one, we just start with a presentation and we try to sell our concept. We present it in this way. Then I think we are trying to convince the person to open up and then to do a call to action, whatever. So it's kind of a sales pitch. Usually in an interview after the design sprint, it's like really neutral, and then you show the person the let's say the PowerPoint or whatever, the prototype, and you ask very neutral the questions, and you try not to influence the person, and you try just to, you explain, you guide them through. So it's not kind of a pitch. So it's not, I don't want to say manipulate, but it's we don't want to.
A pitch is manipulative. You're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yes.
we could also do this, but then I don't know if then it's just we have to be really good, and it's when we have a good output. What is a good output? That he's sold, or he's like, wow, what a great concept, or because we don't want to make him invest 50 million, or we know we cannot make him invest a big sum. We can maybe get the interest. Oh yes, it's a good idea, but it should be more neutral. Because when I thought about the person in Germany, he's never an investor. He's not. He's just related to the hydrogen. But when I show him this concept, I cannot just make this pitch with him. You know, I have just to ask, okay, we have a concept. So, and then I set expectations, and please think out loud, whatever, make the introduction. So please tell me something about you. And then we start, okay, so here we have the concept about blah, 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 blah. You know, it's kind of another setup. And so I'm thinking about if we could make it, I think we could make it with the mayor and just see what comes up with that, but that wouldn't be the, let's say, the comparable way, because if we have different kinds of interviewees, I'm not so sure.
It's more, it's about the reaction, right? You want to get their feedback about if it's a good idea or not. And if you're correct, if you come from a pitch side, it's you're selling it. You're not actually getting any valuable feedback apart from a yes or no at the end, right? Do you think
what would be the valuable feedback? What would we get out of a more neutral way of presenting that? What would we actually learn?
Okay, it should be like this. So our goal would be, we have the concept of this hydrogen land. So this is idea. We pack everything, let's say, all about, we were talking in the concept. This is something we want to show people. Therefore, we build a prototype, and we want to have the feedback of these people, if they find it valuable, if they think we could reach our goal, or if this could reach the goal that people started thinking about hydrogen can be also an alternative for the, let's say, for energy production.
And the people would be government officials that we're showing that.
Yes, it could be. So the one I'm talking to also in Germany, he's not really a government official, but he's related to the hydrogen. So this is just my, let's say, a joker if we don't find enough people. It's not really a government official, but we can try to get as much government official as possible. But when you go to Lego is not government official, or Playmobil is not government official. So let's just, but let's frame it from this way. We can also tell them, okay, we want to, this would be a concept for government officials, or for, let's say, for governments. Do you think this is sustainable? Do you think this can, or we just want to get these answers?
I agree. I should not talk about money. It's about the interesting and everybody who is related to hydrogen. Combine.
Because one. Sorry. Yep. Let me go.
No, you're it.
No, I was just going to say, because one of our questions or one of our statements is to get the conversation going as well, right? To get people talking.
Yes. So that should be our goal, I think. If he's interested enough to really do something and conversate with other people.
Yep.
What I think, what I really think is very valuable, Lisa's input. So we can take this and just think about what would be, let's say, the content for the government officials in these several steps, and we just describe what they have kind of a benefit here, or what could be their questions, what could be their concerns, you know. We frame it like this, but we can ask all kind of different kinds of people about that, if we what I think about it.
Yeah, because you can frame the questions differently. We can have a different set of questions for the government officials, right? If we do get to speak to them, and also for other parties as well, right? So it doesn't have to be the exact same layout, but I think the presentation obviously needs to be the same. So it's about
No, I
presenting it.
just mean I just mean that we have still the government official in our head, and we make the slides like this, but not that we talk directly to him, but it's kind of a more if this would be third person, more like this. So we tell what the concept brings to government official and what are the concerns of what problems they have. So it's that that the steps we have here still remains, but we just frame it in another way, so that it's not what is your why, or what is your challenge, what is your interest, whatever. So it's not that we talk directly to him, but we just talk to them about, we show the concept for these kind of people.
Yeah.
Is this clear? Does it make sense?
It's clear,
I know what you mean.
But I'm not sure whether it corresponds to the concept of the user test in the strict design sprint. Because we would ask a third party if he thinks what we prepared to show for somebody else is good, or if he would add something, or if he thinks it will work. And this person has no real stakes in it. This, I
know
don't
what
know
you mean.
This indirect testing.
I know what you mean, but we still try to get these people, but it's just we don't make it for one certain person, and we don't talk directly to them. We frame it more, we make it more neutral, the presentation. So we don't say you, but we say the governments, or we talk about
just
certain groups.
Sorry. So I see different. I would really go for a pitch, like I said it was set at the beginning. I mean, we can do one or the other way. What the thought around this is, how can we end the conversation? So one thing could be Ian decides, or we have, I don't know, some kind of vote if that is necessary, because
we should vote, because we need to decide on a direction, and it's getting really fuzzy, and we're losing so much time. And somehow I would really like to have a clear statement from everybody, and then make a decision, and see if this is useful or not. Yeah.
So where are we voting between? Between a pitch or a neutral presentation?
Can you define neutral presentation again in one sentence? Whoever is rooting for that strongest, who wants to pitch what a neutral pitch, what a non-pitch would look like.
Well, it's a good question, but Sabrina, was there a suggestion or something that you prefer?
It is more kind of a concern because when you pitch, it's also very important the person who is pitching, because it's I guess because it's not only the concept that speaks for itself. So you don't just click on, okay, now the presentation is running, and in the end he's convinced, but you guide the people through the presentation. So I think that's a main part. So I don't know if everyone is doing an interview, if we are able to do it in the same way. You know what I mean?
Because
So,
it's too specific. Yeah, it's too specific for me for a pitch, because it has to be for a person. That's my whole point. I was saying earlier on as well. I'm more with yeah. I think we should just vote.
Yeah, agree with Michael.
okay.
Perhaps
So
the last statement. I think because we are presenting a vision, something that doesn't exist yet, we will always be directed towards a pitch because it's not there. In most of the other user tests, it is assumed that something is there, and the user looks at it as if he's already dealing with something that is in full existence. So we can test his reaction to something. We tell him it exists, but of course there's only a prototype of it. It's only, but in this case, because it's not there, it's our vision. It's a project that could be, but it's that still has to be sold. We will always gravitate towards the pitch.
but it's always like this. You never have a real existing product. You always have a vision or an idea.
Exactly. I just want to, because we're losing a lot of time now, and it's I have to kill the discussions because we're going to do this endlessly all night. So in this case, is
good aim.
We have. Let me take this clear. We could focus it on one person, or make it more as a neutral presentation where we speak to it, and that's quite interesting now because we could also prototype the interview itself. What are we going to say to who? But I'm going to summon you all.
I'm still amazed by the summoning. Okay.
Sorry, you're amazed now?
Summoning is Ian. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is this clear? The difference between them?
So the pitch is directed to a target, and the neutral presentation is more general.
Yeah. The neutral presentation is basically assuming that the whole thing exists already, and somebody comes across it. The idea, because that would be the.
Okay, so maybe the neutral presentation could be something like if you have an architectural competition, or is that too specific too? Because it's a different type of using the information and presenting it. If it's more like in, how do you say that? An industry project or something where you plan a whole land.
I think the neutral presentation is just the same, but we don't talk directly. It doesn't talk directly to the person. It's just something which is where the mayor, for example, you talk to, you don't say you, but it's like the people or the group or the government or something like that. So it's in this sense more neutral.
Okay.
Just another reframed in another, yeah, the sentence are reframed.
Isn't it a pitch also? It's just not a directed pitch, but
no, but when you say pitch, then I ask the person,
sorry.
What are your questions? What are your challenges? You know, that's not neutral.
Okay. Okay.
I'm really confused now. So I just want to focus and go with it. So it doesn't even matter.
It's just about the definition. What is neutral and what is a pitch? That's the definition.
A pitch is that we want to get the buy-in from the person that we talk to. The neutral presentation, for me at least, would be we want to see if our assumptions are right.
Yes.
One question.
Exactly.
I just uploaded a picture under the voting, and it says pitch, but I want to understand from you, is this neutral enough for you or not? Because this is a way to do a pitch, and it's actually not targeted as a specific person. It's something you would do at a pitching competition, presenting an idea, but you're not talking about the pain of a specific person. It's just about the market opportunity and stuff. Is this neutral or is this a pitch to you?
It's a,
But
pi-
That
it's a
would
pitch
be
for me.
it's
Sorry.
a pitch for me as well, because it tries to sell a vision.
Yes. Agree.
Okay, so the difference is, do we want to sell or do we not want to sell?
No, a vision or something that exists.
Vision. That's, I think, clear, because it doesn't exist.
yes,
And everybody knows that it doesn't exist. That's what you mean.
yes,
That's more realistic.
yes.
But then we have a pitch. Yes.
That's what we're focusing on, get the conversation going to make this happen. But we're still discussing, so I don't know how to get out of it.
I need to
So,
leave in
Odin,
10 minutes hard
Lisa,
because I need to.
Yeah, Lisa, what is your opinion? What you?
Like we're talking about getting a cat together and discussing how to name the cat, but at the end of the day, it's still a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
We're still
Yes.
in a presentation, and in a presentation, we need to either go into the pain or into the numbers. That is my opinion. I don't know. And still, if you call it pitch, you know, if the cat is called Bobby or Mickey, it doesn't really matter. It's still a presentation, and it's supposed to convince somebody of something. Either we persona or we don't. Either it's targeted or it's not, but it's still, I don't know.
Okay, last try from my side. The only thing what I want to frame right, when we talk to the person, it's not like we want to get the person convinced about something. We just want to get their feedback. So that's it.
Okay.
And
yes.
it can be a pitch. I think that's no problem. But we don't talk to the person in what are your challenges, and we talk to the person as if we want to get their buy-in and we want to sell them something, like we would have a sales conversation. So it's just we explain, we guide them through the concept. The concept can be a sales pitch. That's.
But you can also add additional questions to the user interview for specific government people anyway, right?
Yes.
It's the presentation is more, for me, it's more visual, it's more punchy. So it's like everyone should be able to understand who we're presenting to, regardless of the position.
Yes.
All right, we're just gonna do. It's a vision. As a designer, I would say, I would say we're going to view the patient, and we're going much too deep, and we don't know anything. So we have to try one thing. So nothing. There are also assumptions. So we just go for one, and we see the reactions of our user testers, and that's it. So we have got an idea, and we keep it. We try to make the presentation clear enough for each user tester to present our idea and see and test that's what we're doing, test what their reaction is, and see what we can do with that or make the conversation going. After that, we will decide if it was good or not.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So I don't think we need to vote then.
No.
I'm happy with that. Yep. Thank you.
Can we discuss what's currently on the board and our happiness rate in percentage, or something like that we can measure how aligned the team is on what's here, or satisfied before we proceed? Or if somebody doesn't agree at all? But I put a lot of stuff in there, and it shouldn't be like that, but we've been discussing, and I just wanted to get stuff down. So that is a suggestion. And I would like to know what you think, this one or this one, basically.
What is this one or this one?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Seeing you in the video, thumbs up or thumbs down, agree or not agree, you know, the direction. Is this a structure that you want to build on, or do you want to trash it and do something different?
No, I think that, so for me, it's fine. We just have to, get more content to that. So but I think the structure is good.
Whoa, was that Robert?
No, it's me.
I was scared.
So just go for it. Doesn't matter. You need to test it.
Mhm.
Good. And what are the next steps going to be?
Well, I think we need a copywriter, someone who can really put down the texts to make fill in the reasons without the reasons. So who can help us with that?
So we are doing offline work.
We need two, I guess.
Yeah. So we see who can help out with the prototype. So one gathers the images, one takes a slide and try to research or get to look at what they which sentences they can put on.
That's going to be a presentation, right? It's like some PowerPoint or something like that.
Yeah.
So
video.
maybe, sorry?
No, there's no video, right?
There can be video as well.
Just
You can transform it into a video.
Yeah,
Record it.
focus first on the presentation. If you got
Yes.
time, if you manage, then we make a video. But you need content to make the video. We don't have content. Just focus on the content.
On the slide 8 with the best bits, big idea, yeah, where we have all those beautiful pictures, this part could be a video that is just giving them the imagine type thing and not going into so much detail. And then on the screen number 9, we could go into the features like the fountain and the theme park and the gas station. So essentially, if you want to do a video and you're good at that, I would suggest that you just make one, and this is your part of the prototyping, Andres, if everybody agrees, because all we really need is just some big, shots, I don't know, 5 of them, and some text overlays on it. And this could be really powerful for this screen number 8.
Exactly.
And just on a side note, so for collaborating with this, are we just using Google Slides so it's live, or like what is everyone's preference?
Great, Michael. Good idea.
Okay. Awesome.
Would you make one and share them with us?
Google Slides, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we have Michael setting up the presentation template and giving us all access. Then potentially we would have Andres creating a video if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
And I could, I don't know, I'm actually quite good with copywriting, but I have a time issue right now and I don't know when to do it. So
what are the plan, the frame?
Normally, I'm as well quite good at writing, but sorry, after a week like that and with you all guys, my head is really like empty. So I don't know if I can make it. No, normally I'm quite good as well as writing. Maybe, I don't know, Lisa, maybe you can give me some ideas like in a mail or somewhere that just need to be bullet points like that. And then I could actually do like reason 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
And actually, the bullet points are already there. If you look into, when you look at slide number 3, the critical slide, so the topics are always on the green things. Actually, okay, this is not, hold on. So if the topics are on the green, then
I don't have so much.
With slide 3, I might try and do some sort of infographic just with like park stuff and where you use that image there. So I'll see if I can stick something together. I'm not sure how good it will be, but
okay. That could go on the slide number 9, the infographics, because there we go into details about the idea. What do you think about that?
9. Well, it was more just that image where it's showing the park, with the, or are we just using the image on slide 8, with the windmills and
so if slide
the water and the green.
If slide 8 is a video and just giving us the vision and the general feeling, then slide 9 would be perfect to create this type of graphic. And I believe the more realistic idea in the session from yesterday here was from you, and that you're really good with drawing. So this would be the perfect opportunity.
I wouldn't say I'm very good at drawing. I can try and put something together digitally, but as far as my hand drawing skills, they're not particularly great.
After that, you cannot say no, Michael.
I'll do my best. As and just with everyone's, I know everyone's sort of strapped for time and stuff as well. And this weekend is Saturday here for me now. It's Saturday, Sunday. I have little time to actually get on to doing stuff, so I can do bits and pieces when I can. But how is everyone else's time schedule? Because I know.
Oh, yeah, we have a shared Google, and it's just a presentation. If each one of us takes a slide and just work on it, and the people can help out, it's just one slide with some text. That's
Okay.
it. And we are going to have to recruit the people, and we have to manage when they have a user testing also. Because maybe the mayor can just have a meeting next Friday. Then we can.
Yeah.
We have some air to prototype.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I have to go. I already reposted my meeting to 11. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I'll
when
have to go as well. Yeah.
yes, I have one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
South
Friday.
America.
Friday. Cool.
South America. Yeah.
That's passion.
So when do we meet next, or when do we do these slides?
I will make a doodle for
Yeah.
next meeting.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask you now to put your name in a slide you're like to help out with some text. And Michael will share a Google document where you see that slide which you could put in. So Michael, if you put in share the Google slide, I will make sure that the points of Lisa's green of input of Lisa will be in those slides. So you have you have an idea to what to work on.
Yeah, I can
I
go
take a
through it and
slide.
just kind of.
I really have to go. I will take a slide which is empty. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sabrina.
Bye
Good luck.
bye. Sorry.
Bye bye. No problem.
How will we communicate over the weekend? What's the
Slack.
best channel? Slack?
No,
Basecamp.
Basecamp.
Okay, then let's go
Both.
back to Basecamp.
Basecamp. Did you discover Basecamp pings?
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Pings
can use that.
it's the direct chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, guys, what I do when there's really a little time, I'm using a WhatsApp group, and I'm doing voice messages that are under 1 minute, and then I just write and the name that it belongs to if it's more than one person. If you mute the group, then it's not so annoying, but it's really nice because we don't have to write much. But it's also very invasive.
Yeah, hearing there's a lot of silence. I think we just go with Slack. But thank you for your suggestion.
I thought we go with Basecamp.
Oh, Basecamp.
Basecamp.
Whatever works.
Oh, whatever works.
If
Then
they don't answer on Slack, put them on Basecamp, or the other way around.
I see. Annoy the people as much until they answer. Yeah? Makes sense.
Yeah, they're just gonna snooze their accounts and show up on Monday.
Or block you all totally together.
All right. Well, Michael, please share the Google Doc after the Google Sheets.
Yeah, just doing it now.
I'm having to head out, guys, so I'll check into wherever this lands shortly.
Okay.
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 Bye-bye.
So I put myself on slide 4 and 5. I can do one my own. That's okay. But for one other, I would need some help over the weekend. I can free some time, but yeah.
We just do it in a duo, Alex. Okay.
Okay.
Make it work somehow. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I think everybody could look at the slides, and if they have some input, just put a sentence in there, and we all see it. So.
Yep.
And,
And also, just as I know, you can actually comment on the slides as well if people aren't aware of it. So.
When it comes to Sabrina, she was actually doing the start with why, so maybe it would make sense for her to do the beginning slides.
Yes.
Okay.
1 or 2, I don't know, or 2.
Guys, sorry to interrupt. I really need to go off, head off for some work.
All right, Michael.
So
you have the slide 9. So.
Yep. No worries.
Perfect.
I'll keep talking in Slack. Okay. Have a good weekend, guys.
You have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
I think Sabrina said she's doing one slideshow. We shouldn't give her two.
Okay. I just thought that there's not going to be much info on the slide number one. They
Yeah.
kind of together, and when
Okay.
the design is done, it might not be so much work because I really imagined to just have one, you know, like bold headline in the first one. But we have 3 more slides left, actually 4 with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we're going to have to do more than one anyways.
Yeah.
And my personal suggestion would have been for Alex and me to do even 4 slides together because they're the most text intensive, and that's 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think we could figure this out really fast.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay.
I will-
No, this is already beyond a normal design sprint, guys. But
Yes.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it. You got me.
I'm just putting our names down and we see where we go. And if we need help, we're going to reach out. What about Jürgen? There's something of the 4 slides you want to take that I just put? Oh, we have 5 now. That's
We have 5 now.
Yeah.
No, basically, I would see myself more in providing images. I
Okay.
don't think that. I think you are all better with copy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that down between the 2 slides for Michael and Andres. So help out with images.
Okay, I think we need images on 1 and 2 and 8 and 9 here. They're going to be image intensive. And the
So
slides are more like dark and I don't know, like more text heavy.
exactly. So to be clear, the role of Jürgen will be that everybody could request some images to Jürgen if needed.
For example. Whatever.
We don't have a slide 10, right?
We don't.
Okay, cool.
But that could also be just one bold text in the middle and a picture in the background, just like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to put much on it. Really, we don't. It's not going to be as much work as it seems now. I don't think so. And we've all seen the presentations from AJ and Smart, and they're really simple and really sexy. So, and there's a very little text on it.
Exactly. Don't make it too difficult, indeed. It's just a prototype. So we are way going way too deep. So.
It's just a prototype, he's saying.
The master, the prototype of all prototypes.
Yeah.
Well, the concept is really cool.
It is. It is.
So for now, I think this is clear. We start with this and we see what happens. I will. Michael shared already the Google Sheets, so we can put that in. I will start tomorrow morning with adding all the assets and all the texts that we see here on the storyboard, and I'll put in Slack some summaries of the roles and which slide everybody has, so everybody is clear what to do, and make a doodle for the next meeting.
And until the next meeting, we have to finish, right?
Have a first version.
Yeah, it's just a dry run. So we go through the slides if it feels good, and then we go for it for the interviews.
Okay.
Not gonna be that much work.
No.
Really not. The last 3 slides are crucial, and the rest is just putting info on there and making it look good.
Yeah.
I agree. Great. I just want to end the session now because I think we are all really tired.
You lost actually your...
Now it's here. I have it on my legs. Yeah.
Okay, could we make a picture of the last 5 persons standing?
I'll stop sharing my screen because then I see you all. Great. Here we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will shop the rest in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Stay for a second. Can you?
Sorry?
Can you stay for a second?
I say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ian, to stay for a second.
If you like hanging around.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh.
I know. Okay.
It's really hard to interrupt when I don't understand myself. It's not clear enough, and I need to listen to make it clear, but it's really difficult. And then the time passes and passes and passes.
I know. It's okay. How do you feel about me stepping in? Because I was pretty dominant, and I know that
No, great. Really helped. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I just know that not everybody was happy about it, and it's difficult for the motivation. So
Really, I think it's an assumption of you.
yeah, maybe it is.
Because Alex was earlier in here, and he was really speaking out that he's really glad, and his goal was with joining these sprints is to have something really new, something other than the normal sprints, and he said, I achieved my goal by working with you guys, and that's especially because we are not following everything else but learning really new things. And I think you are the one that brought up the most new methods or ways that would add more value to the sprint.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Alex. So Alex and I have been in Zoom at 8 o'clock already, and we had a nice chat. He's from Bavaria, I'm from Vienna, so we're chatting in German and connecting and sharing business knowledge. So that's totally cool. That's why I also suggested to work with him, because I know it works.
Oh, great.
I'm worried about Jürgen and Teresa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but for Teresa, so if we're going back to the mural, we don't have anything assigned yet, and maybe we should just before really make sure that everybody has a task and no left out, and also nobody feels like they have too much of a workload on the other hand, because I just put everything on Alex and me because I saw nobody else doing it, and
yeah.
It's really a lot for me. It's like, come on guys, I created overnight by myself, and that's like everybody can do it, and we all have presentation templates and fonts, and I mean
yep, and I will help out with that, so that's no problem.
Yeah, but you have a fever, and
I long live the painkillers. No, but I understand, and I noticed that the commitment's going down with some of our team members. But that's also, this is not a real sprint where you really select your team members who are the specialists around a topic. So this is just voluntary people. So I understand that not everybody is really committed.
Yeah, let me check on the presentation that Michael sent, because actually I only work in Keynote, and that's for a reason. And most likely it will look, oh, it's empty.
Yeah, but I will make sure it's quite the same as Keynote. It really looks like, but I'll make sure that tomorrow it's all filled. So all the slides will be there, all your text will be in there. I'll make a bit of a design for the fonts and all. So you just have to type your copy. Just type your text and that's it.
That's a huge relief, because if somebody who's not a designer would do it, then
it takes a long time.
It just wouldn't work, from the quality. Yeah. Okay.
No worries.
Who do we still have on the team? Because Teresa, she didn't speak up in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where she's at, and she's a very information-heavy person and not a picture person, from what I see. And so I'm wondering if there's anything. Actually, maybe the Crazy 8 and Evil 8 would be something that's interesting, because she could drop some knowledge there.
Yeah. I should reframe the question to Teresa in helping out with that way.
Yeah. So if she could come up with some facts, and then we put it into a marketing copy and just rewrite it, that would be great for Crazy 8 and Evil 8.
Check. I'm putting notes in here now.
And is there anybody else who's still in the team and actually committed? Gosia, I believe, wasn't there.
No, she couldn't make it, but maybe she will try to help out. So I'll invite her to the presentation, but she doesn't have all the context, so I don't know.
No, it's not gonna work then.
No.
No, not Gosia, Gia. I mean,
Gia, yeah. Gosia
was never here, I think.
was never here, no.
Okay.
Gisela.
Yeah, okay. I'm just, before we check out, I'm going to look in the calendar. Yeah, well, you know, honestly, tomorrow I'm teaching at the university, and then I have my designer here, and I need to get aligned on the thing.
Yeah, no problem. I need my time tomorrow to set it all up. So, and we have to connect and check out if we have some user testers.
Yeah.
And normally I've seen with my previous sprints that they always have just a meeting the next week. They don't have time. So.
Look, between 2 and 6, I'm working with my designer, and I'm going to be on the computer, and you can reach me on Slack. And if you can just fill me in, you know, what's happening and what is needed at the moment, then I can do punctually some things. But I
Okay.
would like to rather overhaul stuff than create stuff, if that's okay.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe let's just, what about the recap message? It was so fuzzy. I don't feel like I can write a nice message right now that's clear. And I've been talking for the most time anyways, so.
I can try to make a summary of today.
I feel really bad because you're sick, okay? And when there's fever involved, then it can go on your heart and you need to sleep, you know what I mean? Like you need to.
Yeah, I slept all day today, so. No worries. Don't feel bad. It's my choice.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then I don't know. Write just a brief summary and tell them that you're gonna follow up with them and schedule everything. Something.
Yeah. We achieved to make a story flow. Voted on a story flow that matches with the can we. And after that, we discussed a lot about the storyboard.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Just add a video on AJ and Smart about Together Alone and why discussions aren't good, and that's why we brainstorm Together Alone next time.
Yeah, yeah. Just proves us why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be available from 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear. Thank you.
And please ask for help, regardless of my time management. Ask for help, and I will make it happen.
I'll put it all on Slack, and if you can answer it, it's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good night. See you soon. See you on Slack.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.